Hi boys and girls, it's me, and we're back in the repair lair. And today I'm going to change things up a little bit. Today we're going to work on a radio. It's a radio that someone had asked me to look at, and it's a radio that I've seen before but never never in front of me. And they asked me to have a look at it and go through it because, well, they want the radio to be safe and in good condition or whatever, because it's going to be given away as a gift. So it's just kind of like one of these manufactured, mass manufactured production radios, but it is an AA5, I think, and it's it's actually kind of Mickey Mouse. So we're gonna open this guy up and have a look. Okay, well here it is, set up on the bench. The gentleman that passed this off to me actually ran into me at the Parsippany event, and he passed this radio off along with two other radios, and I've actually looked through the other two. I'll show them to you after we get done with this one, but actually if you're clever, if you watch the Parsippany video, or if you're attentive and not half asleep like I am while I'm watching videos sometimes, you'll actually spot this about 2 minutes into the Parsippany video. So here I actually have part of the video up on the computer, and you look to the lower left, it's a little more than 2 minutes into the 8.5 minute of the video, and there's Mrs. Radio Wild standing there. She's actually talking to my friend JR, and if you look to the lower right of the screen, there's the Mickey Mouse, literally there on the table. So I had already packed up the other two radios. I was scrambling to find some extra boxes to put it into so I can transport it safely back home. Well, I just, off camera, I just had kind of a look-see over to see, and I am incorrect. I think this is a solid-state radio. I didn't see a tube chart on the radio, and for radios of this vintage, I guess late 60s or whatever that were solid-state, it has proverbial, it's a little bleached out, maybe from sitting the back of it facing a window or something, but it has the proverbial no serviceable components inside. I'm going to try to open it up anyway, so I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring up my Variac, and we'll just see what it does as it is before we open it. Well, while I was setting everything up, we just had a visitor. I guess he smelled a mouse, so he had to come investigate here. This is if you don't know, this is Berwin the Wonder Cat. So he's just going to stand guard while I Variac the radio. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I'll just see if I can hold the camera. I have a camera on a tripod, and I'm going to hold the tripod. On the left of your screen is my Variac, and I'm going to turn it on. And here, well, let me get a pointer. You don't have to look at my finger. Voltmeter, okay. Voltmeter, and then directly above that is an amp meter. I'll try to get this over here. Let me turn the amp meter on, so we'll see how much current we're drawing. I already have the radio turned on. Here's the off on, and then you can wake the music switch. I have that engaged. I'll just put the volume up about 2/3 of the way, and I'll start bringing the Variac up. So let's see what happens here. Okay. Wow. Yeah, this has got to be solid state, because now I'm already. Yeah, it's heterodyning, which is kind of a good thing, because I would imagine that this thing used the really terrible IF cans that were used in the tube radios.
And it could blow up.
Okay, there's Rush Limbaugh. Okay, I'm going to turn the light off. You may not be able to see it as well. We're up to 75 volts. Now we're up to 100 volts. I gotta do this because otherwise this thing is... And if you look here, you can actually see the second hand turning on the clock, so we know that the clock is functional as well.
Like a Bloomberg at nothing.
Very popular. You just can't seem to get it.
No.
And Charles Rogers has done. Marley Drug is an independent pharmacy delivering generic.
So it looks like it's working just as it is.
Very well. And the Ciudadanos centrist party essentially collapsed. And this
Opponent that is of high caliber.
Okay.
And that,
So that's a good sign. We're getting stations across the dial. The clock appears to be moving. So I think life is good. I'd like to just open up the radio anyway, for no other reason, my own personal curiosity, but I also want to take a look at, make sure that we have any swollen capacitors or burnt resistors or any of that nonsense. Okay, gang, I got it apart, the back cover, and that was kind of an escapade in and of itself. They have these screws on here that look like, I don't know, they're almost like a Torx type screw. And needless to say, I don't have one of these. So I was able to take these locking needle nose vice grips that I've had for, 30 years or whatever, and I was able to put one in each screw, and then I was able to undo these things by hand. So now that I've got the radio opened up, we can see inside. Let me see if I can get some better light in there so everybody can see what's going on. So we've got the speaker down low, we've got the clock mechanism to the left of the radio or to the right facing us, and then the actual radio itself over here on the left. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the radio out. I have to get the knobs and things off too, so I'm going to take that out and just, we'll have a quick look-see. Well, here it is. I finally got it, and here's the whole radio right here, power supply and all. There ain't a whole lot going on here, folks. Got a 2-gang tuner. There's 5 transistors in it, including, I would imagine, I don't have the schematic for this thing. I imagine that's got to be output transistor here. This is a shroud holding this cap on here. There's a couple of 100 mics at 6.3 volts. I think I want to look at those. And I want to look at this cap here. Other than that, it looks like everything is going to be okay for this thing. I'll tell you what, though, getting this part was not fun at all. I actually deformed the tuning knob. Mickey came off. There's Mickey over there, and he's going to have to get glued back on here. But the way this thing is on, it has this little retaining ring over the shaft, and it actually goes in between. I don't know how well you can see that in there, but you can see the hole for the volume control on the bottom and the tuner up toward the top there. And they have one of these for the tuning knob and one for the volume knob. And I guess that's this was a kid's radio. They didn't want the kids yanking the knobs apart or having any way to get the radio apart. I don't know how they would have figured it out anyway. I mean, I was a kid once. I was good at getting things apart. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these caps, test them out, pull them out of the board, test them out, and I think I'm going to pull the clock out. That neon light that you see there glowing, that actually is taped in to light up the dial there. I actually got the outer portion out so I can clean and polish that so it'll be clear. And I think that's a sealed unit. I don't think there's going to be any way. I'll pull that clock out, but I don't know if there's any way to lubricate or do anything to or service anything on the clock. So this is probably going to be it. I'm going to just take everything out just to clean up the cabinet, and we'll pull them guys out and have a look. Well, the radio seems to be working okay, but I think what I'm going to do is, since I finally got this apart anyway, I'm just going to replace, I think there's a total of 5 electrolytic capacitors. So just to make this thing last a whole lot longer than this thing was probably ever meant to be. I'm just going to go ahead and replace them. And this big guy right here is a 470 at 35 volt, which I didn't have. I have the other ones. So I had to run to my local store here. And this is a great group of folks here. It's Greenbrook Electronics. Figure I'd give them a little plug while I'm at it here. They used to be in Greenbrook, New Jersey. They just moved to a bigger building about a year ago. And now they're in North Plainfield, New Jersey. So if you're in the area, just stop by. You won't be sorry. I mean, it's just they have everything you need in there. And look who just showed up. After just having his lunch, I just fed him. It was Mr. Berwin. And we were just outside, and we were involved looking at squirrels. And he actually went after a squirrel, but he got away. So these things happen when you're a cat, I guess. Okay, Berwin's here, and he was just basically providing some quality control on the radio here. And as you can see, those caps are junk. So Berwin just rejected them off the bench. There was a total of 5 caps I replaced. 6 caps, actually, I think. 5. And some were up in about the 12% leakage range or whatever. Most of them were between 5 and 8. And I've had the radio playing, and I tweaked it. Don't want to get in there, Berwin. So yeah, it's just a matter of I tweaked the trimmers on there and everything to make the radio play a little bit better. Didn't need much. So it's just a matter of cleaning everything up and putting the radio back together. And I think this could make a really nice Christmas present for somebody. Well, that's it for today, boys and girls. So for myself and Berwin the Wonder Cat, thank you very much for tuning in. And one other little footnote here. As of right now, I've just turned 2,000 subscribers. So comment about the video. Comment if you'd like to have a contest for the 2,000 subscribers. I'm always up for interesting ideas. So, hey, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.
IRR or Metro North. Get the free Clever Commute app. Visit clevercommute.com and keep tuned to WCBS News Radio 880 for traffic and weather together on the 8s.
Partly sunny back into the lower 40s on Thursday. Mostly sunny back up near 50 as we head towards Friday. And looks sunny but cold for the weekend. I'll see you Paladary Junior 45 with it.com at Classical. These WMTR.